Hey guys, welcome to another video. I started ovulation test earlier so that I wouldn't be caught off guard. I was still caught off guard. Yeah. Also, excuse the utter mess in the background. That's Angel over there. We are finally getting to a point where we are starting to sort things out. So that will be a different video, but fun times ahead. Now, ovulation. I ovulated early again because, well, I think at least. I mean, let me show you the tests and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I started on cycle day 9 because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna start like cycle day 10 or 11 because that's like what happened last time. And it was like normal, negative-ish, like, okay, we're good. Then cycle day 10 was kind of like, okay, normal. And then cycle day 11 just kind of went crazy. Do you even see that? Honestly, cycle day 11 and cycle day 12 confused me a lot. Like I did, I think 3 or even more. Actually, I just didn't put them here. I did like a bunch of tests on cycle day 12, just trying to figure out my peak. Symptoms wise, we'll talk about that in a second, but yeah. Look at this. Like, I kind of feel like this one is darker than all of them, but I don't know. I'm highly confused. And then like cycle day 13, cycle day 14, it was like completely negative and all my symptoms went away as well. So pretty much what happened was around cycle day 11, I started feeling the dull pain that I get for ovulation. I had a ton of wet cervical mucus, pretty much wanted to jump hubby like every 2 seconds. Like I'm talking crazy. I was quite happy about that. Everything was kind of going crazy and I was like, what's going on? So I usually do my tests around midday. So on a normal day, I will do around 12 p.m. I will do my ovulation test, and then depending on whether it's dark or not, I might do a couple more later in the day and night just to kind of figure out my peak, because I have realized that my peak is a lot shorter than it used to be. So I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly when I ovulate. All this done based on tests, like ovulation tests alone, as well as my symptoms and how I feel. I haven't headed into the whole aspect of maybe getting blood work done, etc., just to kind of figure out ovulation yet. We will see how we go with that. Right now, as it is right now, with the OPKs, I started questioning a lot of things. So my symptoms started kind of getting like, well, progressively worse as far as like ovulation pain was concerned. So on cycle day 12, my tests were still dark, like they were still pretty dark. I don't know if I can like clearly say I got like a blazing positive at all this cycle, which is what I'm kind of questioning. But I did get, like, by the end of that night of cycle day 12, the ovulation pain was real. Like I was like full on feeling like my ovaries were gonna burst. I definitely got the symptoms. I definitely felt how I feel when I ovulate. Everything was, you know, my body was doing its thing kind of thing. I wasn't able to do an ovulation test late at night. I did get a test in at 2 p.m. as well as 9 p.m. on cycle day 12. Wanted to get one more in, but I didn't. That's okay. The next day, it was pretty much negative, so I'm thinking I ovulate when I have like the peak of pain, let's say. I'm thinking I ovulate pretty much on the day I get my positive, which is really weird because normally what we know is that when you do an OPK, you could ovulate anywhere between 12 to 48 hours later. That's quite a window, like quite a window of time. It would seem that my peak is a lot shorter, and it would seem that the time frame I have between peak and ovulation is much smaller, at least since having Iris. So I ovulated on cycle day 13. That's what we're going with. Technically, I would say I probably ovulated on the night of cycle day 12. That's when like the pain kind of hit a peak. So we are saying cycle day 13 as ovulation and going from there. So pregnancy tests start on the 13th of May, on Friday, but still, I'm questioning a lot of things about my ovulation. I am like watching my body a lot more though this time around. I'm kind of like monitoring my symptoms and how I feel, because I'm realizing that my body gives me a lot of signs, like a lot. I used to have a lot of issues with kind of understanding how I feel, especially since having Iris. Everything was just kind of all over the place, I guess. Now that breastfeeding has kind of cut down to pretty much one feed and that's it. She literally, like my body literally is starting to give me signs and kind of talk to me, if you will. So I'm kind of monitoring that along with the OPKs. I definitely, this is the part where it's cycle 12. Cycle 12. I know I said it's a transitional cycle, but at the same time, I'm really, really hoping I don't have to go past cycle 12. If I do, it is what it is. Hello.
hungry.
If we do move on after cycle 12, I I'm definitely going to be grabbing some Clearblue ovulation tests and kind of, yeah, getting a bit more active in like monitoring ovulation, etc. Definitely. I am hoping that that's not the, like, yeah, it's cycle 12. It's cycle 12. Cycle 12 is when I got pregnant with Iris. So, of course, I wasn't breastfeeding throughout the entire 12 months that I was trying for Iris. So, I believe I was breastfeeding for the first 3 or 4 cycles that we started trying. Then I had my chemical pregnancy, and then, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. We are slowing down with breastfeeding. I do believe she will be stopping breastfeeding within the next month. So, who knows? Who knows, really? I will see you guys in the next one. It's, you know, it is what it is, I guess. We will persevere, and we got this. We got this. Bye, guys.